In a shocking turn of events, Russian mercenaries have invaded Finland's Hanko Peninsula and deployed nuclear weapons. Finland's President Linnea isn't taking this lying down. She sends in a crack team of Jaeger Special Operations to snatch a high-ranking enemy officer. While 2 of the team escort the big fish back, the rest of the squad stays put, lying low on the peninsula. After some intense grilling, the Finnish military learns the enemy's got a land-based cruise missile with a 2,500-kilometer range, packing a nuclear punch. If this intel's legit, every city around the Baltic Sea is in the crosshairs. But first things first, they've got to take out the enemy's radar vehicle that's jamming comms and warn the 10,000 folks on the peninsula to hit the deck. Going in guns blazing without this would be a bloodbath. But here's the kicker, these psychos are using civilians as human shields around the radar vehicle. Linnea, wearing her commander-in-chief hat, is in a real pickle. She can't stomach the idea of sacrificing even one citizen. While the Finnish government bigwigs are hemming and hawing, the Finnish soldiers stranded on Hanko are in increasingly hot water. Captain Rami finally tracks down his wife and daughter at a hotel, but they're not buying his war story. Their argument catches the ear of a nearby mercenary on patrol. Rami plays it cool, then catches the guy off guard with a surprise attack, knocking him out cold.
Get back!
He hightails it over a wall, but the bad guys are hot on his heels. Rami uses some fancy footwork, zigzagging to dodge the hail of bullets, and finally shakes his pursuers by vaulting over a low wall. Just when he thinks he's in the clear, he runs into another surprise.
Stop!
It's Berg and her 2 buddies, catching their breath, learning that the rest of Berg's squad is in enemy hands. Rami decides to wait for nightfall to make a sea escape, but before they can get their ducks in a row, the enemy comes barreling in. Rami makes the call. Berg and her team hit the boat while he plays decoy. He operations one bad guy to get their attention, then takes out a drone with a well-placed shot. Once Berg's boat is out of sight, Rami withdrew from the crossfire and fled into the woods. But Berg and her crew aren't out of the woods yet.
Holy fucking shit!
2 speedier patrol boats are on their tail. They're forced to beach on a deserted island, but the enemy's right behind them. They're using a bullhorn, demanding Williams surrender. Turns out, the enemy knows Williams is the grandson of the US Speaker of the House. No wonder they're pulling out all the operations for a bunch of rookies. Berg orders Osman to make a run for it with the intel, while she and Williams stay back to hold the line. They use the rocky terrain for cover. But Williams catches a grenade blast. Berg patches him up quick, but the enemy uses this chance to surround them. Seeing Osman nabbed too, Berg has no choice but to throw in the towel. They're all marched off to a shipyard, joining other soldiers who gave up without a fight. The shame is written all over their faces when they see Berg. Just as President Linnea is on the fence about launching an attack, the enemy grabs her sister-in-law's family as hostages. The pressure from public opinion and worry for her family is eating Linnea alive, but she knows it's crunch time. Every second wasted puts more Finnish lives at risk. With Linnea's go-ahead, Operation Midnight Push kicks off. The Finnish Navy and Air Force move in tandem, locking down the airspace and sea routes around Hanko. Ground armor units make a beeline for the peninsula. 5 fighter jets, loaded with air-to-ground missiles, gear up to take out the enemy's 5 radar jamming vehicles. The special operations team near the radar vehicles gets the order to pull out. They've got less than 3 minutes before the missiles hit. But these guys can't stand by and watch their people get slaughtered, so they make a unanimous call to save the hostages first. The mercenaries guarding the place are no match for the special operations team and are wiped out in no time. Just as the hostages are freed, the jets let their missiles fly. Suddenly, an enemy armored vehicle shows up as backup. One of the assault team members is pinned down by heavy fire, unable to get clear of the radar vehicle. He tosses a smoke grenade for cover and makes a mad dash for it, but he's a split second too late. With all 5 radar vehicles blown to smithereens, comms on the Hanko Peninsula are back up, but at a heavy cost. Linnea, fighting back tears, goes on TV to tell people to find shelter, then gives the order for a full-on assault.
Aloittakaa hyökkäys.
The Finnish Defense Forces carry out landing combat missions from both sea and air directions at lightning speed. The elite Jaeger units swoop in and take control of the port's air defense system. Then, a wave of CV-90 infantry fighting vehicles, K-9 self-propelled howitzer, and Leopard 2's 6 main battle tanks roll onto the battlefield. Guided by Eagle scan drones, they punch through enemy lines with surgical precision. Despite some pushback, they quickly break through the enemy defenses. The remaining enemy TRO operations fall back to the built-up areas. The armor units deploy infantry for urban warfare to prevent ambushes or anti-tank attacks from cover. But street fighting is always brutal, no quarter given, and one wrong step could mean hitting a mine or booby trap. The first TRO operations to breach enemy positions report the coordinates of enemy armor, and RM-70 self-propelled rocket artillery immediately rains down fire. As the Finnish defense forces are racking up wins, Captain Rami and his neighbor Amanda are sneaking up on the shipyard. Rami had bumped into her earlier when he went back for gear. Amanda keeps watch outside while Rami goes in to rescue the captured soldiers. With the front lines crumbling, there's only a skeleton crew left, so Rami makes short work of the perimeter guards. But he walks right into an ambush inside. In the close quarters fight, Rami's on the ropes until he pulls his pistol in a surprise move, ending the fight. In the heart of the building, he chucks his last grenade, taking out 2 mercenaries guarding the prisoners. Berg and her squad are finally free, but they're not out of the woods yet. There are still enemy stragglers around. Berg slips away from the group, determined to save Williams, who's being held separately. The enemy sees Williams as a golden ticket to shake up the US, and they're planning to bug out with him. Berg takes out the mercenaries by the pickup truck with 2 precise bursts, but the engine's already running. She operations her rifle and sprints after it, barely managing to grab onto the truck bed, but the driver spots her.
Keep your hands where I can see them! Step away from me! Hands up! Move away!
It's Amanda, hidden in the trees, saving Berg with a perfect sniper shot. Back in the building, Rami, scouting ahead, catches a bullet from nowhere. The enemy tries to use the wounded Rami as bait to pick off the others. Osman quickly flanks them, providing covering fire. The team manages to pull Rami to safety, but he's in bad shape. Just in the nick of time, the Finnish defense forces show up, finally getting them all out of danger for good. Meanwhile, the main defense force units have cleared out the enemy from the city center, officially liberating the Hanko Peninsula. But the mastermind behind this mess is still a mystery. Most of the mercenaries are Russian, but Moscow's adamantly denying any involvement. The captured mercs are all singing the same tune. They're just tourists who came to Hanko for a good time. Whatever the case, Finland's pulled off a textbook defensive counterattack with the whole world watching. But victory comes at a price. At least 120 soldiers and civilians lost their lives in the conflict. The government gives them a hero's send-off, with the president paying tribute in a national address. There are no real winners in war, and the wounds it leaves on a nation and its people take time to heal. Even in peacetime, we've got to stay on our toes. Only a strong defense and the resolve to stand up to aggression can keep the peace.